right, what's up, Real Men Wear Kills TV? What's up, Husker Nation? This is the Real Men Wear Kills TV Nebraska versus Michigan pregame show. So we got this week is probably one of the biggest matchups for Nebraska this season so far. I mean, yes, we took on Oklahoma. Yes, we took on Michigan State, both top 25 teams. But now we're taking on Michigan. And, you know, we kept it competitive against Oklahoma. We kept it competitive against Michigan State. In fact, the second half of the Michigan State game, we dominated them. Like, we really dominated them. And due to some stupid errors at the end, well, we all know what happened there. Now, Michigan is number 7 in the country, so another top 25 team for Nebraska to take on. Nebraska is currently number 47 in the country, according to CBS Sports. And, you know, the spread on this game is not very big. It is not big at all. It is only 3 points. 3-point spread. Now, that being said, that's pretty tight odds. Now, granted, it's in favor of Michigan. They think, you know, the odds makers think Michigan's going to win by 3. Now, when the odds makers are trying to say that the number 7 team in the country is only going to beat the number 47 team in the country by 3 points, that's when you need to take notice. That's when you really need to take notice. The over-under is plus or minus 50 points. This is going to be an interesting game, I think. And there's something you got to understand about a ranked Michigan team. It happens all the time, especially under their current head coach. They get ranked, they get hyped up, all this stuff. And then they take on a team they're supposed to be, and they end up having this morale-crushing, just, devastating loss to a team they're supposed to win. It happens every time they get ranked, and they're overhyped. So, I'm not saying Michigan's overhyped. I'm just saying there's a lot of hype around Michigan. They're ranked. History is proven. And all the sports experts are saying, Nebraska's going to eventually knock off one of these top 25 teams on their schedule. They all say it. They all think Nebraska's going to knock off one of the top 25 teams on the schedule. Michigan's due for that morale-crushing, just devastating loss to a team they're supposed to beat. And the game is in Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska at night. And something about Memorial Stadium, Lincoln, Nebraska at night, on a Saturday night, it's just something magical. Look at the, in between the third and fourth quarter, that light show they did last week. It's something that's electrifying. And I hope they do it every time they have a night game, because it is amazing. It looked amazing on TV. I'd love to make it for a game. Anyone want to give me some tickets? Anyways, the point is, I'm not actually asking for tickets, but if anyone wants to be really generous and amazing, hey, help me out there. But anyways, the point is, we're talking about a game that everybody's talking about right now. Across college sports, all these, experts and whatnot, they're all talking about Nebraska versus Michigan and what's going to happen. And the fact is, they really don't. That's why the spread is so close. They don't know how Nebraska's going to do against Michigan. They don't know how Michigan's going to do against Nebraska. Michigan, so far, yes, they're undefeated, but they haven't had a true test. You look at number 7 Michigan here. They really haven't had a true test. Yes, they're 5-0, but they haven't had a true test. And everybody's saying Nebraska is going to be the true test. And here's the thing: we don't know what team's going to show up for Nebraska. We really don't. Is it going to be, like last week, everything comes together and they just beat the brakes off the other team, or try to at least, because that's what we did in Northwestern. We just beat the living hell out of them. We opened up a good old fashioned can of whoop ass on Northwestern, and that is highly possible in this Michigan game that we might open up a can of whoop ass. But at the same time, I honestly think it's more likely though it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a tough game, and I think it's going to be a really physical game. And you look at what Nebraska did last week. Nebraska, they looked great. They looked good. They played a really clean game, and we saw what will happen. What can happen when Nebraska gets it all right, perfect. We saw the true talent level of Nebraska there. I think this game is going to be a tough game for Nebraska. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think a lot of people think that. But, it's really going to come down to the following factors. What it's going to mean for Nebraska is going to come down to the following factors. Do we play a clean game? Do we play a tough physical game? Do we go out there and we try to beat the living hell out of Michigan? Which I hope we do. I really do. Nebraska really has to keep it together. Hopefully they didn't get cocky over this last week. Hopefully the fans show up like they did last week. Hopefully it is an electrifying experience. All this stuff has to come together for Nebraska. And, Memorial Stadium on a Saturday night during with a Nebraska football game, when Nebraska's playing at home under the lights, there's something magical about that. Really, that's when you truly see the best of the best when it comes to Nebraska football. And I don't know if Michigan's ready for that. I really don't. I personally think Nebraska's going to win this one. I think it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be tight. And, here's the thing. If Nebraska wins this, that's knocking off the number 7 team in the country. That should put Nebraska in the top 25 or very, very close if they beat Michigan. And really, it depends on how bad they beat Michigan. I can almost guarantee that if they just go out there and run over Michigan like they did Northwestern, I can pretty much guarantee we'll be in the top 25. If we go in there and we beat them, but it's close, it's going to be, Nebraska's certainly going to be in the conversation. Are they going to be in the top 25 if it's close? Yeah, maybe. If Nebraska loses and it's close, I think we'll be a lot closer to the top 25. I don't think we'll make it into the top 25 if it's close. I think Michigan will definitely drop if it's close. No matter whether we win or lose, Michigan's definitely going to drop if it's close. They're really going to drop if we just run them over. But, I'm not predicting that we're going to run them over. If Nebraska loses and just get stomped, I think we'll probably stay around where we're at right now. But I don't see us getting stomped either. I don't see a blowout either direction. I think it's going to be close. I think we can expect Nebraska to rise in the rankings. I think we can see Michigan drop in the rankings because I think it's going to be close. I really do. It's a 3-point spread. It is a 3-point spread. Do I think it's going to be by 3 points? I don't think it's going to come down to a field goal. I think it's going to come down to at least a touchdown difference in score. The real question is who's going to come out on top. Michigan's due for that loss and Nebraska is due to knock someone in the top 25 off. I mean, especially if Nebraska shows up and plays like they did against Northwestern. I think we're really. I mean, and don't get me wrong, Northwestern is not a good team this year. I mean, Northwestern is terrible. Northwestern is currently ranked. Let's see here. I really wasn't going to even talk about Northwestern, but let's look at it. Where are they? Surely they didn't drop this far. Holy crap, Northwestern dropped all the way down to 99th in the country. They're barely in the top 100. That's how bad Northwestern is this year, guys. So, look at Nebraska, Michigan, and what Nebraska did against Northwestern. Yeah, there was definitely a talent difference in that game. So, really, I think it's going to come down to, is Nebraska going to play a clean game? I mean, really. I mean, if you look at the talent level Nebraska has, and you look at teams similar to Michigan or similarly ranked as Michigan is, and how we did against them. So we're looking at Oklahoma, and we're looking at Michigan State. There really wasn't much of a difference. Nebraska is not really showing much of a talent difference between, them and the top 25 teams. I mean, where's Oklahoma? Oklahoma's still number 6 in the country. Michigan State's still number 9 in the country. You look at this, these are all top 10 teams. And we kept it close against Oklahoma. We kept it close against Michigan State. Oklahoma and Michigan State are also amongst the undefeateds in the top 10. In fact, the only undefeated I see, non-undefeated in the top 10, I believe, is Ohio State. Ohio State's the only one not undefeated right now in the top 10. And we got them later on this year. I mean, you look at Nebraska's schedule this year and how many top 25 teams are on the schedule, and you go, damn, that's a tough schedule. So we got to knock one of these top 25 teams off the schedule, and we got top 10 team. We got a top 10 team that we're taking on yet again this season. Another top 10 team. We kept it close against the other two. Michigan's due for a loss. I mean, it's in Lincoln Saturday night at Memorial Stadium. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better atmosphere for a Nebraska victory. You couldn't ask for better conditions. We got a huge momentum boost against Northwestern. As long as they don't get cocky, as long as they play like they did against Northwestern, I think Nebraska could win this game. I really do. I think it's by at least a touchdown. I think it's going to be close, but I'm saying somewhere, I want to say about a touchdown is going to be the difference in score. That's my guess. Nebraska needs to come out, and like they did against Northwestern, they need to explode out onto the field. They need to just, take control and stay in control. If they can do that, we beat Michigan. Michigan really hasn't been playing 4 quarters this season. That's what everybody's saying. From what I've looked at, it doesn't seem like they really have been playing four full quarters. Nebraska, on the other hand, has been playing 4 quarters. Hard. I don't think Michigan's quite ready for Nebraska. I think it's going to be a tough challenge for Michigan. And I think this is a very important game for Nebraska. I'm looking at the rest. I've looked at the rest of the schedule, and I'm saying this is my top 25 team that Nebraska picks off right now. I think Nebraska can do it. I hope they do. It's going to be a tough one, guys. It's really going to be a tough one. I think it's really going to come down to what team for Nebraska shows up. And if the team that showed up last week against Northwestern shows up this week, Michigan, you guys don't stand a chance. And I know I'm a Nebraska fan, so maybe my opinion's a little biased. So if you're a Michigan fan, I'm sorry, but let's face it, you guys are practically Canadian anyways, so I'm joking there, of course, but like I said, actually that'd be more accurate with Minnesota, the way they are, the way they talk and whatnot. They sound like Canadians, at least in my opinion. But anyways, the point is, Nebraska, Michigan is going to be, it's going to be a hell of a game to watch. I highly recommend you watch it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, really entertaining. And I think it's going to be a hard-fought match. Really, that's all I can really say on it right now. I have no idea what's going to happen. Nobody really does until the game happens. We can make our best guesses. We can, on paper, Michigan looks like a great team. Nebraska doesn't look quite so good on paper. But that's on paper. When you actually look at these games Nebraska's had, every game that Nebraska has lost this year, it wasn't because the other team beat them. It was because they beat themselves. And as long as Nebraska doesn't beat itself, as long as the team that showed up against Northwestern shows up against Michigan, I don't think Michigan's going to be ready for it. I really don't. I think they're a good team. I don't think they've been playing four-quarter football all season. And Nebraska, they're going to have to play against, and Michigan's going to have to play against Nebraska for a full 4 quarters in order to maintain, their ranking. But, Nebraska, I think, as long as the team that showed up last week shows up and plays full 4 quarters, I don't think Michigan can handle it. I really don't. So with that, I'm going to end it. I got a bunch of other stuff I got to do today. I'm going to post this later this evening. Catch me after the game, either Saturday night or sometime Sunday, for the post-game show where we'll talk about the game and what happened and what it means for Nebraska, and we'll kind of preview a little bit of next week's game. Or is next week our bye week? I can't remember. But anyways, the point is, catch me Sunday. And y'all have a good one. Stay safe. Go Big Red. Let's see what happens.